The Jacob Media Sports Network, in partnership with 97.3 ESPN, brings you the Mays and Eytan Show.
Middays with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander.
Now, it's the Midday Show with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander on 97.3 ESPN Radio.
All right, well, we begin the week basically just trying to get through the next hour because Kevin Cooney's going to join us at 1 o'clock, and I imagine that the goal will be how to keep Kevin on as long as humanly possible.
Well, Kevin could go in a lot of different directions. We're going to start with the Phillies with them.
Well, are there other things, non-Phillies, that I should know about that we're going to bring up with Kevin?
Well, I think we'll just see where it goes, but we'll start with this piece that he put on Philly Voice on Friday, which I read over the weekend. Ignore the standings. This Phillies team isn't close to being ready to win again.
Now, that's different than a lot of things we've seen so far, like the Bob Nightingale piece that came out.
He references that.
Is that right?
That's a big part of this.
Oh, well, I'm curious.
Yeah, I want to read you something that was very disturbing, and Kevin was equally as disturbed.
I'm good. I'm really good when guys like Kevin are perceptive enough to bring back and repurpose some things that get said nationally about us and about the teams we root for and about the managers or coaches that run it, because a lot of times it gets lost in translation, right?
Right. Well, this is what the Phillies said about Gabe Kapler.
Via Nightingale,
and this is the thing that jumped out. They love his passion and sincerity. They love his willingness to be fully indoctrinated in their organization, whether it's telephoning and welcoming new employees, or making ticket sales calls, or volunteering for research projects. They love his conviction and beliefs.
Hold on a second.
That's it.
Volunteer.
Yes.
Is the guy eating a brownie, and are they monitoring what happens? Like, is he drinking a can of some mystery liquid, and they're monitoring to see the effects of it? What is this, one of these science projects you find in the back of Backpage?
I'm telling you.
I thought they shut that thing down. What kind of science? Wait a second. What type of research experiments is he going through?
What do you mean research experiments?
You said that.
Well, research projects, volunteering for research projects.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So is it like a medication thing? Is that what he's supposed to do? Or?
He's supposed to. He's taking these pills.
He's got to abstain from sex for 14 days and take these pills
while they monitor him. Exactly. It's like one of those focus groups that pays you $100 to come in and eat a brownie. What the hell's going on in this organization?
I have no idea. That's why we got to have him on at 1 o'clock to get to the bottom of it.
It sounds like he's some sort of Stepford wife, man. Just like coming in, doing everything they ask. How about
that's what he is.
You know?
He basically, the analytics department runs the baseball team, and he's the conduit to the dugout for the analytics department. We've all known that, right?
Yeah, yes, but that report, contrary to the Nightingale.
And he phones season ticket holders and thanks them for coming out to the ballpark.
Now what I get of Gabe's day-to-day is somewhere between like Uncle Leo on that, what do they have it on, the PBS thing?
Oh, right? I thought you meant Uncle Leo on Seinfeld.
I did, yeah. She's got a limited budget. Right? Yeah,
I love that guy.
This PBS, he's one of the most underrated extras on any television show ever, right?
Is he still living, that guy?
I gotta
look him up.
Please look him up, because I'm gonna guess no.
That's what I'm gonna guess, unfortunately.
But this is a combination of, the PBS make phone calls to people and this research project, whatever the hell that is. Oh, my goodness, man. I have to be honest. This thing does not paint him in any type of positive light.
No.
And those are the things that they're referencing. How about managing the bullpen?
It's incredible.
How about something that you can actually have as a tangible connection to being a manager,
right? Not
being some sort of corporate shill. Like, we get it, dude. You're happy to work there.
Yeah, I know. I would be too.
Yeah. You'd be picking up the phone. You'd be doing the...
Well, I don't know if I'd be doing that.
Would you be calling people, selling... You've plenty of sales experience.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I'm calling and leaving voicemail message to thank fans for buying season tickets. That's not my deal. Len Lesser was the guy's real name.
Is he alive?
No, he passed back in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah, Len Lesser.
Did he do anything else besides play Uncle Leo and Seinfeld?
I'm sure he's done some other things.
I'm sure he's done a lot of things, which is crazy because he'll go down and only go down as the guy who played Uncle Leo. And,
well, at least there's that.
Well, no, my point of it is he goes, I think it's one, if not the most underrated, under-discussed. When you say, hey, who's the best, what would he qualify?
Kelly's Heroes he was in.
Okay, I did not see that.
Okay.
But he's not an extra, and he's not a co-star. He's somewhere in between, like a recurring cast member.
Everybody Loves Raymond. He did a couple episodes. You know, he bounced around a lot.
Oh, okay. So you know what he was in Everybody Loves Raymond?
No.
He was
Just Shoot Me.
Raymond's dad's lodge elk buddies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of those guys.
Well, yeah. Didn't Raymond's wife perform at she worked at the lodge, and she would play the piano, and all the old men gathered around the piano?
That was an episode.
That was a great episode.
That was a fantastic episode. I guarantee you,
he was in that. Yeah,
absolutely.
He was.
Yep, definitely. Okay, so we remember him from at least some other things too, besides just that. But he's definitely one of the most famous recurring cast members. Just because of how they worked him in there. And I'm sure he's based on a real guy, like a real Seinfeld uncle.
Yeah. Larry David probably knew the guy.
Or it's like Jerry's real uncle that, it's like Uncle Sal, but instead like Uncle Sandy, I had one of, So 609-403-0973 is how you get us on the text board. At Harry Mays to you, at Shander Show. We've got that Phillies thing we can open up. The Eagles, not really much. I know both of us
there was a big fight at practice, apparently. Andre Dillard and Derek Barnett got into it.
Oh, see, I've got a problem with that.
Why?
Because nobody should be fighting. Nobody at all should be doing anything to Derek Barnett until he gets on the field. Like, we need that guy healthy.
Well, I agree.
So,
apparently he is healthy. If he's going at it with Andre Dillard so hard that the two ended up getting in a little scuff.
Now, I imagine this wasn't a major scuff.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if Dillard hurt the guy, then I'd have a problem with that.
No.
All right?
Dillard apparently got very emotional after the encounter. Yeah.
Like
Jason
how?
Peters had to step in and cool things out.
Okay, so emotional meaning like heated.
Yeah.
Not like he broke down and cried.
No, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm reading tweets.
Okay. Well, they're coming in by the mile, these tweets?
Yes.
Is that it is? By the second now?
Right.
Boom, boom, another one here. He was emotional. See, when you say that he was emotional, I think, okay, he was like crying and things along those lines, right?
You can be emotional in a heated kind of sense.
Okay.
Oh, yeah? Did you find anything on there?
No, I'm tagged in a McMullen tweet, and I'm trying to figure out the context of it. But
here's the thing.
It looks like somebody's just going back and forth.
This past weekend was the most beautiful weather that we could ever have imagined in this area in the month of August. It was fantastic outside. And I hope everybody got outside as much as possible, regardless of what you were doing. The Phillies were the last thing on my mind.
Good.
This weekend.
Because you didn't miss anything.
I'm just glad it was way out there, 3,000 miles away in San Francisco, where they can go lose 3 out of 4. They've now lost 5 out of 6 of their last 6. They're in 4th place in the NL East, 9 games back. Now they're behind the Mets, as we knew. They're 5th place in the wild card.
Awful.
With 2 games back. Don't be fooled is basically what you have been saying and what Kevin Cooney is saying. Don't even look at the standings. The only thing you have to look forward to, if anything, is this series with the Cubs. Wednesday night, you'll get Nola against Cole Hamels. And that might interest Phillies fans for at least an hour and a half. 2 hours.
I think so. 2 hours.
How about A-Rod blasted Kapler last night?
No, I think 2 hours would be it.
A-Rod blasted Gabe Kapler on the broadcast last night.
We don't have that, do we?
Maybe Josh can get it.
Let me see if I can find that, too. That's amazing.
Yeah.
See, I was looking through to see if anything came from the broadcast itself. But I think at that point you have to start looking around and thinking, what's really happening where our guys are just getting ripped like this, and it's becoming somewhat, I don't know if it's becoming a national laughingstock per se. I mean, they're much worse teams. That's what I mean.
No, it's not.
But there are jabs and, there's things happening here where, like, that's not great.
He said he was guilty of careless managing.
Yeah. No, I thought there was more to that.
No, I'll pull it up.
Oh, okay. I thought that you were going to keep going. That's why I didn't.
No.
Careless managing.
It was a situation where Pivetta was on the mound, and in Kevin Pillar, who's been very hot.
Kevin Millar?
No, not Kevin Millar.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Pillar. In a tie game in the 8th inning, with a 3-1 count, Rodriguez decided he'd seen enough of Kapler's managerial decisions. A silly, careless pitch here with a fat fastball right down the middle. No need for it. 94 center cut. You have a base open with the struggling Brandon Crawford on deck, and there's no need for a hot Pilar to get a pitch this good in this situation. You walk him. You pitch to Crawford. That's a big mistake by Gabe Kapler. And now you walk Crawford, and now you get to face Panda. Careless managing. Even more careless pitching for the Phillies.
Unbelievable.
That's the end of the quote.
Unbelievable. Now, I agree with what he said.
Yeah.
And I think that there are people that defending Kapler at that point is just, well, he's the manager of the team that I root for. And it's kind of like blind faith. Not to say that Kapler should be fired or Kapler is the reason why this team is the reason why the Giants took 3 of 4 in this series. But I think you can look at the frustration that people are having internally, meaning in this city with Gabe Kapler, and see guys like A-Rod, whenever there's a broadcast that's on the big platform, taking a shot as well. And it's hard to defend. It doesn't mean that you have to call for his firing, but he's clearly getting more and more difficult to defend.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like you're trying to now find what does he do well? Like what, you know what I mean? Like what in order to keep him around to start the season next year. You got to figure out what 3 or 4 things, if you can come up with that many, that he does well, right?
If we ask Kevin Cooney, give us 5 things.
I don't know if
Gabe Kapler. Well, that was
let's ask him that.
We'll give him time, all right, and we'll guide him through it, so it's not just him going on for 10 minutes straight. But if we asked him to give us 5 things that Gabe Kapler does, as well as the top 10 managers in baseball, can he give us 1?
Probably.
Can he give us 3?
I don't know about that.
So he can't give us 5.
He'll give us 1.
But he won't give us 5.
I doubt it.
Plus 2,000 on 5.
I doubt
right?
it. Yeah.
Are you going to take those odds?
No, I'm not. But, that you got the Phillies over the weekend. The Mets are still hot. They took, 2 out of 3 from the Nationals, right?
Yeah.
And I decided that since this Nate Sudfeld injury is going to eliminate him from the rest of the preseason, I'm trying to figure out what I have to watch, to look forward to in any of these next 3 games. Because we don't even know if Carson's going to play at all.
And why would they?
Well, I mean,
right?
I might play him in the 3rd game for a series or 2 or 3.
But
we don't even know if we're going to get that now.
But we know he's not going to play Thursday night against the Jaguars.
I highly doubt it.
Right. So that immediately, any type of nonsense could be surrounded with this Nick Foles thing. Like, is Foles even going to play?
I don't know. I would think Foles might play a series.
Maybe. He might play a series. But outside of that, you're not going to get much. So Foles, okay, not much. Carson, we know, out. This has now become like...
Well, it hasn't been said, but I
mean, a series, right?
I'm assuming that Carson won't play this week.
It's almost malpractice at this point to ask the guy to suit up, put on a helmet, go out there, warm up, and play for a series and then pull him. Like, what's the point? Mm-hmm. He's not a rookie. He's not a young quarterback anymore. He knows what it's like to suit up. These guys all are if you've noticed, the NFL, meaning teams and players, are pushing to the limit how little they're playing in the preseason.
Yeah, the only thing I have this month of August football-wise, really, except at the very end of the month when college starts, is Hard Knocks.
Oh, man.
I'm anxiously awaiting episode 2.
How much do you think of the frostbitten head drama you're going to get from Antonio Brown in this thing?
With the cryotherapy thing?
Well, that's the least of their problems now, the frostbitten feet. The fact that he's got this helmet issue.
Well, the helmet issue, yeah.
How much of the helmet do you think you're going to get?
It's probably, since it's coming out, that's probably going to be a big part of the episode.
Okay, so let's look at this. It comes out Tuesday night, right?
I think, is it Monday night or Tuesday night?
I thought it was Tuesday night. Josh will let us know. But it's going to come out Tuesday night. It's going to be an hour show Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. How much, let's just pie chart this real quick. How much is going to be autumn wind and all that other
No, I think
crap?
they moved beyond that. No, I think that was first episode
Wait a second. So you're saying 0 right now?
I doubt it. I don't think you'll get any Facenda.
Okay, we're going to need to make competing pie charts here. You say 0 to that.
I say 0.
I say 15%. You're still going to get Al Davis.
They're going to roll out Al Davis and John Madden
Absolutely.
again?
Until this thing is dead, you're going to get Madden once an episode.
No, because we're going to have a game this week. They will have played the Rams.
True.
Right? And then the dual practices.
10%. You'll still get the beginning. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You're going to get all that. And I woke my dog up. See? So you're going to get all of that still.
Now, the dog has a new collar.
Oh, you haven't seen this?
No, this is the first. I walked in and I saw this strange contraption
Why don't you
around
feel it?
his neck, and it's like a soft. He did have the hard plastic cone.
Yeah, the vet. You know, you'd think with modern technology, the vet, for all I'm paying, it was a $650 procedure.
Yeah.
And you think for all that money, they'd give me something better than that hard plastic
What do they call it? E-collar.
Yeah.
It was like something out of the 60s.
Oh, it's
Like,
behind you. It's terrible.
I know.
It's hard plastic.
It was when plastic was first invented.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, the only thing that was missing was them giving me the keys to some 1950s Dodge or Ford, that could just crash and kill yourself.
They went out back in the supply closet and dug that thing
Unbelievable,
out underneath
man.
a couple of boxes.
It's like, oh, sorry, we're out of e-collars, but you can take this cement thing here. So, yeah, I got rid of that because it was jamming in his neck. It was jamming in my thigh everywhere. It was impossible for him to sleep. So this thing is actually, my mom told me about it, so I went on Amazon.
Yeah.
And this thing's been great. Now, it's still pissing him off, but not nearly as much. So that's the difference.
Well, I kind of feel like him today. He's out of it.
Yeah, I was saying we should put an e-collar on you
Yeah.
so you could just blind yourself to the world.
Right.
I mean, you would love one of these.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, think about
No,
this.
I do that anyway without a collar.
Yeah, but people might still come up to you. You go out to a bar, like you go out to Pepperoncini across the street here. You go out to the Great American
I'd wear
Pub.
that.
You wear that. Nobody's going to come up to you and say a thing. People are like, all right, that guy's in his own world.
Right.
That's a statement right there that guy does not want. Well, that's Harry Mays.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
Harry.
Listen.
Remember that woman who dimed out Donald Sterling? V. Stidolano? Or
She wore those
remember that
the
huge
visor,
yes,
right?
Yes. That's somebody who
Stiviano. I think was her
Stiviano, I
last
believe
name.
you're right. V. Stiviano. Now that when you wear a visor like that, that's a statement that you're not in the mood or in the
Right.
world to talk
For
to
any
anybody.
social
Nope.
contact.
I could see you wearing one of those too. Walking around with one of those. Like I could see you walking into the club wearing one of those. Hey, Harry's here. Oh man, he's got his V visor on.
Let him alone.
Yep.
He just wants to smoke a cigar outside.
Seriously. You would have one of those things on every single day.
I wonder what V. Stiviano is up to these days.
Oh, she probably made millions.
You think?
Off of that whole Sterling thing.
Well,
Absolutely.
This says here she was ordered to pay back $2.6 million in gifts.
You see, the crazy thing about somebody like Sterling is he's got paper trails for everything, right?
Yeah.
And nobody gets off scot-free. Like, nobody that rich gets worked over that easy without him getting something back.
Sterling's wife sued her.
She's the one who sued.
Yes.
Oh, not Sterling.
No. Sterling's wife sued her.
Successfully. Well,
Shelley Sterling.
but I thought they were divorced, weren't they?
I don't know, some lawsuit that accused the wife accused Stiviano of targeting extremely wealthy older men. She claimed Donald Sterling used the couple's money to buy Stiviano a Ferrari, 2 Bentleys, and a Range Rover, and that he helped her get a $1.8 million duplex.
Let me tell you something.
How about that?
First off, she's right. Second off, Shelley Sterling she's got her own problems because she was running those slums that Donald Sterling.
Oh, she was running
yeah. It was,
the apartment
and it wasn't
buildings?
even like in her name. It was like she's on record, like public as a defendant now, named in a lot of these suits because she was there doing stuff. So that whole mess is a disaster. But that's crazy that V had to pay back all that money.
Well, I don't know if she did, but if this actually went through. But I'm glad those names are out of my consciousness. I
Yes.
remember that time period. It was
Shelley, Donald, and V.
yeah.
No more. All three of them.
TMZ was just like, following V around and walking around Beverly Hills with those stupid visors on, and they
absolutely.
get her on camera.
That was the thing, man. I'm telling you, that visor, you could rock that
Were
visor.
they big in Asia?
I don't know where the hell those things are big. I've never seen those things before.
I never seen them since. They didn't catch on.
No Jenner or Kardashians out there.
Put
wearing
Titleist on it.
And then
He could probably sell a few.
you think Brooks Koepka go around wearing those?
No, he's a cap guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, You'd find somebody like, what about Jasper Parnevik?
Parnevik, he wears
those awful. Is he still wearing those terrible hats?
I think so.
Those flip-up brims? My God, man.
That didn't catch on either, thank God.
No, and remember, those bike hats, those are kind of these bike hats, not bike the company.
No,
bike.
bicycle hats, those
Correct.
little hats with the short little brim on.
Yeah, that flip up.
Yeah.
And you're right, they never caught on.
No.
And
there
for
was
some
a European, there was a French thing, I think.
Did people in France, do they wear those?
I don't know if the other people wear them, but bicyclists used to wear those back in the day.
And Jesper.
Yeah.
That's the only other person on the planet. Unbelievable. Now,
Yeah.
did you watch any of this? Because I'm sure you caught this. And again, we'll get to the text board coming up in 10 minutes. Kevin Cooney is going to join us at 1 o'clock, at Harry Mays to you, at Shander Show. So did you catch this here? I was trying to pull this back up. I'm sure you watched it. I don't know how many other people did. The Northern Trust minus Tiger, and Koepka wasn't really in contention on Sunday, but
he was for a little while, and then he blew up
in the final day.
He had it going in the first 5-6 holes, and then he just made a triple bogey and just disappeared.
Once he hit the triple, he's like, all right, I'm not going to win. I'm getting out of here.
Right.
But more fallout for the defending champion, playing at the pace slower than a snail right now.
Well,
and he had to come out.
It's a little exaggerated, but
he had to come out and defend it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, because players were sniping at him on social media.
That's what I'm saying. And fans too.
Yeah.
Like people were there and putting up video.
Well, now it becomes a thing.
Yeah, it was getting retweeted and it was gone viral. That DeChambeau, right, was going.
Yeah, it took him 3 minutes to execute a 70-yard wedge shot out of the rough.
3 minutes,
and then 2.5 minutes to do an 8-foot putt.
Come on, man, that's ridiculous.
That's extreme.
But that's absurd.
It is absurd.
And he's relying and saying that there's some sort of mathematical algorithm that he's going through in his head.
Everything with him is a mathematical algorithm.
All right, well, how about you win a major? I know he's the defending champion.
He's won a couple of tournaments.
Yeah, but when's the last time, that this thing, here's the other thing, though. Nobody else is doing this.
No, he's the only one.
Right.
With this
extra long.
With the clubs are all the same size.
3 minutes?
Yeah.
Come on, 3 minutes, a 70-yard wedge?
It's egregious.
Now, what are you saying if you're in that group?
Let's go.
At what point?
Today.
While we're young. Yes, but let me ask you a question, though. At what point in that 3 minute span are you speaking up and forget the fact that this guy's a culprit and a repeat offender? But
he's not the only one.
Well, it seems like he's the only one taking this long.
Well, he's going to get singled out because he's so different. And that video, some guy was, posted that online and it went viral. Okay,
so
but
he's not the only guy that's taking 2.5, 3 minutes?
No,
really?
No, there's other guys. Trust me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
On this tour that we're playing yesterday over the weekend, do you think?
Well, yeah, there was a couple of them, but
not that I'm asking you by name. I'm just saying. It's more.
Spieth takes forever in a day too. But everybody likes him. A lot of people don't like DeChambeau because he's weird.
Just because
it's like Gabe Kapler. You know what I mean? It's like anytime somebody comes up that does things very differently, they're automatically, they had better be the greatest at whatever they're doing.
Right.
Because they're going to catch a lot of flack because they're so weird.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So DeChambeau gets a lot of flack. He's guilty, but he's not the only one.
Okay.
J.B.
singled
Holmes,
out.
Patrick Cantlay, Shoffley, just to name a few. They all take forever to play.
Well, the cool guy now in school called him out. Patrick Reed's another one, right?
What about? Is he slow? I don't know.
That's Josh's. But the other thing is the cool guy in school called him out.
Koepka.
Right.
Yeah.
So now
he's the boss.
Absolutely. So people like me who aren't paying attention as much as people that you are look at that and say, oh, well, Koepka called him out. This guy's got to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but
I'm sure Koepka's a royal pain beyond not showing up on time and not giving a damn about regular tournaments.
Bryson went to Koepka's caddy and said, hey, next time your boss wants to talk about me in public, say it to my face. So Koepka shows up on the range. The caddy tells Koepka. Koepka goes immediately over to DeChambeau, and they had it out.
I love this guy.
I know.
I love him, man. He needs to be on a video game ASAP. This is amazing. All right, we have the text board coming up, 609-403-0973. And you heard